So a buddy of mine was like, hey bruh, I made it to Division 2 on Ultimate Team. And I was like, congratulations bro. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can do that too by teaching you how to defend like a pro. Let's get into the video. So some of the key points I'm going to focus on is second man press, right stick switching, and most importantly, in-game awareness. I'm going to show you how you can defend high up on a counter press situation to help you score more goals and defend better with your attackers. So now here in this first clip, awareness is very much key because here before the keeper even sets up for any pass, I've already scoped out for the easy pass weak point in this scenario. That being here my right side and middle is covered. So if he's looking to build up, it'll be from my left side. And my closest player to apply the press is Vinny Jr. And I do so by using second man press and right stick switching, which are key here in this situation. With right stick switching, I get to 90% switch to the player that I want to take control of, instead of letting the CPU decide for me. That is if I use the LT R1 button to switch players. And then I use second man press to charge the keeper simultaneously, not giving him space and time to breathe, which allows me to win the ball high up and continue my attack and pressure on his defense. Alright guys, now this second clip is another example of a high counter press situation. My opponent starts off by being too aggressive towards the ball, which is the first mistake because he misses the run into space by my player. But he tries to recover by not being tight on Doherty and covering the run by Saka, which was a good idea. Though he didn't get it right, sometimes it just doesn't work out. But here is where the focus is now, the counter press. Looking at the keeper's body shape, his most obvious pass is here. So I quickly right stick switch to Saka in order to cut the passing lane and simultaneously apply pressure on the keeper by using second man press with Van Persie to give him less time to think. I eventually win the ball high up on a counter press and score a tap-in goal from that situation. Now what's nice about online gaming is that your opponent doesn't see the green second man press indicator. And so here, as soon as he restarts the game, having selected Van Persie, I've already analyzed that his left winger is more open for a pass than his other attackers. So what I did was use right stick switching to select Saka. The idea was to run back and cover the passing lane and be able to help my right back in defense should his attacker receive the pass. At the same time, I've activated second man press to pressure the ball carrier, but my awareness kicked in again, seeing that he's fooling around with the ball. So I switched back to Van Persie as soon as possible when he was close enough to win the ball and he couldn't react in time, and I managed to steal the ball. There's a reason why I have a saying that the most dangerous person to keep an eye on is not the player with the ball, but the player who can potentially receive the pass or player that's making the run. It's not always the case, as the best players can trigger runs only to throw you off, but sometimes you have to make a choice and hope it's the right one. 70 or 80% of the time, if you focus on the player open for the pass or making the run, you are most likely to win the ball. Here's an example of that. My opponent makes the pass, and looking at his body shape, I'm not looking to go forward and charge for the ball, but rather keep the passing lane closed. So as soon as he changes his body shape, instead of charging for the ball still, I become aware of his player making the run and was quick to switch players with the right analog stick to close off the passing lane to the player making a forward run. And with that, I was able to win the ball. Now here guys, in this last clip that I'm going to show you, here I have my opponent's quick attack covered with a 2-on-1 situation. But now since he's no longer facing my goal, I don't get myself drawn to the ball because, like I said, the players making the runs are always the ones to watch out for. I switched players and jog it with the aim of closing the passing lane, although the pass managed to go through. Yes guys, you won't always get it right to close out the passing lane, but it's still the right thing to do. Now as his forward receives the ball, I use the right analog stick to make sure that I switch to take control of this defender. And as I said, the player making the runs or open for the pass is most likely the player you need to focus on. He can either run with the ball and take a shot or make a pass. Either way, I have to make a choice. I backed off, applied second man press for added pressure to his attacker, and I backed away to close the passing lane, which turned out to be the right choice as I win the ball back. Don't be hasty when you defend guys. Keep a cool head and be aware of your surroundings. Leave a comment if you need advice on anything to do with defending or even attacking, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.